The worst agent idea often starts with a messy workflow and a hopeful sentence. Maybe the model can just handle it. If the process has no signal, no owner, and no fallback, agency makes the mess faster. This is Lesson 29 in Claude Code, Production AI Agents. We are naming anti-patterns from the field, including workflows that should be simplified, constrained, or rejected instead of turned into agents. Lesson 28, Build the factory. Now we add the rejection gate, because a mature platform knows which ideas should not be manufactured. The core idea is this. Some workflows should be automated, constrained, simplified, or rejected instead of turned into agents. That means the answer is only one part of the system. The path, controls, ownership, and recovery plan matter just as much. The visible artifact is the agent anti-pattern triage board. It has 5 parts: agency needed, risk bounded, signal measurable, owner named, fallback exists. Those parts turn an abstract concern into a concrete review conversation. This part of the visual map matters because it shows the actual moving pieces: decision loop, tool trap, approval bottleneck, context overload, fallback path. If one of those pieces is invisible, the team will struggle to operate the workflow under pressure. Use this checklist before treating the workflow as ready. Agency needed, risk bounded, signal measurable, owner named, fallback exists. These are not decorative boxes. They are the operating questions that decide whether the agent can be trusted outside a demo. In practice, this example has 4 parts: runaway autonomy, model cult, prompt brittleness, cost spiral, unreviewable decisions. The point is to make the agent's work inspectable rather than asking everyone to trust a polished final answer. Score the design against this rubric: agency needed, risk bounded, signal measurable, owner named, fallback exists. A weak score does not mean the idea is useless. It means the workflow needs stronger boundaries before it becomes production work. Day 2 is the real test for anti-patterns from the field. A model version, tool version, policy update, or team workflow change enters the system. The team should be able to compare the new run with the previous run, inspect the evidence, and decide whether the difference is improvement, regression, or noise. Without that comparison path, the agent may change faster than the organization can understand. Use this implementation checklist before expanding scope: decision loop, tool trap, approval bottleneck, context overload, fallback path. Each item should produce a concrete artifact, not only a meeting note. If the artifact cannot be inspected later, it will not help during review, audit, or incident response. Block release when these risks appear: runaway autonomy, model cult, prompt brittleness, cost spiral, unreviewable decisions. A blocked release is useful information. It tells the team where the system needs stronger evidence, better calibration, narrower scope, or clearer ownership before it reaches production users. Before a leader approves wider rollout, answer 3 questions in plain language. What decision will this evidence support? Who owns the signal when it disagrees with human judgment? What happens if the signal is wrong during a real incident? These questions connect anti-patterns from the field to accountability instead of turning it into another dashboard or checklist that nobody trusts when pressure rises. A useful mental model is red flag checklist before construction starts. It reminds us that production work is not about trusting a perfect machine. It is about designing a system that can be inspected, corrected, and improved under pressure. Our worked example is a review board for proposed internal agent use cases. In that workflow, the important pieces are decision loop, tool trap, approval bottleneck, context overload. The agent can still accelerate the work, but the operating model must make important behavior visible. The build sequence is simple. Define what can go wrong, define the signal, decide the release gate, assign ownership, store the evidence, review failures, improve the workflow, repeat. That loop is slower than a one-off prompt, but it is how agent systems become dependable. Use the readiness rubric. Agency needed, risk bounded, signal measurable, owner named, fallback exists. If a team cannot point to each part, the release is relying on hope. Hope is not an operating model. The common mistake is building an agent because the workflow is messy rather than because agency adds value. It feels efficient because it avoids upfront design. It becomes expensive when the agent drifts, fails, or creates a decision nobody can explain. Let us recap Lesson 29. For anti-patterns from the field, define the risk, capture the evidence, connect the result to a release decision, and keep ownership clear. Quality should be visible before trust is requested. The lesson learned is this: some workflows should be automated, constrained, simplified, or rejected instead of turned into agents. A production agent earns trust when quality, risk, and history are visible. Subscribe for Claude Code, Production AI Agents. The companion book is linked in the description. In Lesson 30, we close the core course with the road ahead for Claude Code without the hype.